Hello, everybody, and Dominomial here. Welcome back to Celeste. Last episode, we completed Chapter 6. That's about it, because Chapter 6 is pretty long, because it has a whole lot of dialogue for just one chapter in a platforming game. Which, I'm fine with. I like the story of this game. But let's get started into the Chapter 6 B-side, shall we? Right. I completely forgot about how this B-side worked. But I think I can get the hang of it. If the last couple of B-sides were anything to go by. Although, the music is... I remember the music getting a little bit annoying after being on this level for about an hour. Yeah, okay. This is this is a little bit more difficult than I expected. Or maybe I'm just rushing things too much. But that's the first screen down. Well, okay, it's not that this music is bad per se, it's just kind of loud. It's louder compared to the other pieces. Which means that I'm probably going to have to do different audio balancing for this episode. Yeah, that part is easier than it looks. Ooh, bumpers. I hate bumpers, but... well... whatever, let's just go. So... yeah, nothing too much has been going on recently. Of course, I don't have to emphasize when this was recorded because either you're watching it right now or you can kind of guess based off of when this was uploaded. And yeah, I don't really want to go into that stuff because I've talked about it enough during Xenoblade and Galaxy. But because of the current, social political state of the world... what? Okay, the computer just did a pop-up. But because of the current, social political state of the world, it's really difficult to say anything noteworthy that isn't already being talked about a lot. But, hey, I'm trying to do my best with commentary, especially completely impromptu commentary, which, I'm sticking to, even though it might be better to take notes and... why does the computer want me to update now? Cancel the update. Yes, please. Okay. I'm going to have to cut that out, aren't I? Whatever. Who cares? But because of the social political state of the world, it's really difficult to kind of talk about anything that isn't that, because it doesn't help that it's kind of difficult to go outside now. Granted, I can technically go outside, but better to be safe than sorry. It also means that I can't get recording done with my brother, per se. Well, not per se, but you know what I mean. So, because of all this has become effectively the most interesting, unique summer I've ever had to deal with. And also the worst summer. I can't really do anything else besides either sit around and binge watch One Piece, which I have been doing, as you know, if you've been watching this Let's Play, or all the episodes. And the other thing I can do is record, which that's what I'm doing right now. And the games coming out, there are like 3 games coming out within the next 2 weeks that I want to get. Paper Mario, Catherine, which actually just released today, and I think I've been keeping my eye on an indie game called Crosscode, which I really want to check out because it looks like a fun Super Nintendo-esque action RPG, which I am totally down for. But yeah, I'm probably going to have to pick and choose between which game I want right now. Which, yeah, whatever. I'll get all 3 of the games eventually, especially Catherine. That one I'm looking forward to. Paper Mario is a must-get for me if you already know my Paper Mario opinions. Yeah, I know people probably are gonna hate that game when that game comes out, but I'm not like most people. I actually like Color Splash, but I've already talked about that enough on Xenoblade. Okay, we gotta collect all those keys. One thing I really want to get back into, since I of course have the time now, I really want to get back into reading. Wow, reading, imagine that. No, but I actually do want to get back into reading, because I used to absolutely love reading. I mean, I don't know if this was mentioned on Xenoblade or not. I have the feeling it was. But the reason... Before I started getting more and more, deep with, video games and all that stuff, I read a lot because I, of course, didn't have 24/7 access to video games because, parents. And, I'm not blaming them for anything. I mean, I'm actually glad that they forced me to not play video games all the time because, that means that I didn't become a complete potato. But, so, how I would spend my time besides playing video games would be, well, reading. And, well, I actually really like reading. Well, I didn't at first. The whole book series that kind of got me into reading was the Percy Jackson series, which I'm sure it was for many people around my age who first started getting into reading, because, I mean, the world and the characters are pretty likable in that book series. In fact, it's one of the few books that I kind of want to reread because it's been a while since I've actually read them. But yeah, after the whole Percy Jackson series and the kind of spin-off, but not technically spin-off because it's still canon series, like the Heroes of Olympus series, I kind of also branched out to other books. Thing is, back when I was into reading, I didn't really tell the difference between a good book and a bad book, so I just read a whole ton of schlocky young adult novels with either romance or the action was just too cliche or something like that. Either the action was too cliche, the characters were too generic, they were either edgy, appealing to the edgy teenage boy that I was, or they were appealing to the horny side with all the love and romance and anime tropes. Yes, after watching anime for a year and a half, I notice young adult novels kind of have the same tropes. So if you like young adult novels that are kind of schlocky, you'll love anime. I guess I never really grew out of that, huh? But still, I do want to get back into reading. It's just the reason why I stopped reading over the years is because over the years, my taste kind of changed, and I realized, hey, this book is kind of shit that I'm reading, huh? And so, whenever I found books, like, they would either be kind of, like, similar or kind of just boring or bland or something I've, like, been there, done that kind of thing. And I didn't know what kind of book I wanted to read. Also, I know I'm supposed to grab onto that wall. It's just my muscle memory is rebelling against my mind. Okay. Yeah. Another reason why I was so into reading back, like, you know, as a teenager, young adolescent that was very horny. Well, the reason why I also liked reading books so much is because my dad got me a Kindle back when I was, like, getting into my reading phase after reading, like, binge reading the whole Percy Jackson series within a couple weeks. And so he got me a Kindle, and my mom also decided to find a few books on there that I might like. And one of them I really did love. It was called The Rho Agenda. RHO Agenda. Or that's the series name. The first book was called The Second Ship, and it has, like, the same, like, young adult tropes as any other young adult book, with the audience being teenagers more than young adults. But it also got kind of dark at some points, and I loved the characters. And I just loved the idea of the premise. The whole premise of the book was basically just, I don't know when it took place exactly. I think it was, like, during the 90s. Or the setting is in the 90s. It isn't, like, a real book, of course. It's fictitious. But it takes place in the 90s, and these three kids find an alien ship that's stranded in the middle of the desert. Like, while they're playing with, like, a model airplane or something. Cliche plot setup, but it works. It works. And basically, like, they find these, like, artifacts, they wear them stupidly, and they get, like, alien abilities after they're basically brain zapped. And then it turns into, like, your standard, like, oh, like, gotta, like, save the world kind of plot, but also remain hidden because the government is actively chasing after us and wants to experiment on us or kill us. Wow, that actually was kind of scary. But it does get kinda dark, quote unquote, for a 13-year-old who was reading that book at the time. Like, I think one of the characters, like, there are three characters. Two of them are girls, one of them is a guy. They're all protags, and the points of views switch between them. And each of the abilities that they gain are unique from the alien ship, and I believe the guy, like, is able to comprehend and learn languages really quickly. I think his name was like Mark or something. Like, and like within the first half of the first book, he just like learned not learned Russia, but Russian in like a week. One of them is a super genius, like hacker computer girl, and I mean, if I'm being honest, that's also probably part of the like subconscious inspiration for my cyberpunk character, who's basically a prodigal super hacker. And the last character is just really damn good at math and like tactics. But yeah, the government like kidnaps supercomputer girl and supercomputer hacker girl, and like they experiment on her with like well, you know, drugs and like all that, and like she's like in a she's in a trance, and she's barely conscious. And like after that was during the second book, and after reading that book series, they're quite lengthy books too, like around like 400 pages or so. Okay, they're not like super lengthy, but you know, long for a 13-year-old. And also, I just love technology in general, and being able to see a hacker at work in a book is really cool, especially the way they described it. And now that I'm thinking about it, it really is just like my cyberpunk character, huh? Yeah. Okay. I've actually been... Well, of course I've been looking back on my commentary while editing, and I realized that whenever I have nothing to say, I just nervously laugh, and I really want to stop that habit. So I'm making a conscious effort to try not to nervously laugh whenever I don't have anything to say. It's not working so far, but eventually, I just need to get used to it. Better to get my bad commentary out of the way first while nobody is watching this series before I actually play Paper Mario or something, when people will actually probably be listening to me because it's a game that everybody wants to know more about. So that was the way you were supposed to do that. I just kind of instinctively did that. Huh. How am I supposed to do that? Yeah. Now I kind of remember this B-side being a little bit annoying because it messes with your head. Because you need to get all these keys, of course. But the way you're supposed to do it is kind of a roundabout way. Basically, you need to find the optimal path in what seems like a maze. Huh, do I need to go all the way up for that one? I think so, actually. Okay. Okay. I didn't see the diamonds because the particle effects were glowing, and I know it may seem like I'm making excuses right now, and I am, but trust me, playing this game and commentating is kind of difficult. Not like I really have too much to say right now. I kind of already went over the one topic I had in mind before actually starting this recording session. And that was, I want to read books. Wow. But, like, yeah, seriously, I do want to read books again. I just need to find a book that suits my tastes and isn't schlocky young adult stuff. Easier said than done. The reason why I also have trouble finding a book I like is because I'm just naturally very indecisive when it comes to stuff like that. So, yeah. I mean, that's also the reason why I started playing Celeste in the middle of Xenoblade. Like, one reason was because, yeah, I kind of predicted that Xenoblade would go off the rails and not quite go along as scheduled. But also, I just wanted to play this game because I listened to music from this game for the One Piece campaign. When it comes to stuff I want to do for fun, I'm very impulsive. When it comes to, like, actually deciding on something productive to do, I think way too hard about it, and then I get stuck in indecision paralysis. I don't know if that's a real thing, but that's what I'm calling it. Or I know it's a real thing, I just don't know if that's what it's called. Oh, fuck. That was close. Okay, I get it. The spikes are there, but it's kind of an awkward hitbox. You've got to realize that. Okay. I think I get it now. Let's do this part. Oh, shoot. I accidentally went diagonal up rather than just straight. Okay. We should be getting close to the end. I mean, I'm not certain, of course, but I think this is close to the end. Oh, I didn't even see that block there. I was moving too fast. Okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. Well, even if I do want to read more, at least I'll have more games to play soon enough. Paper Mario especially. That game's one to look forward to, despite what anybody says about it. Who knows? I may be proven wrong and it may be the worst game of all time, but that was already Sticker Star. I think they learned their lesson by now. Yeah, when I say that I want to read, like, I've talked about this with my friends, or one of my friends, and he said, well, if you want to read so much, why don't you just read manga since you like anime so much? And while that stands on paper, the reason why I like anime is because I don't have to read it. Well, okay, that just sounds lazy, but the reason why I like anime is because I actually get to see everything in motion rather than in panels. Like, Nichijou, that anime, for example, that anime wouldn't be as funny on panels than it would be actually animated like it is. On my anime list, Nichijou is one of the few 10 out of 10 animes I have, along with Kill la Kill, Steins Gate, and first season of Haruhi. Not that second season of Haruhi is bad, mind you, but like, Endless 8 aside, which I love the Endless 8, by the way. I'm one of the few people that does love the Endless 8. It is slightly weaker than first season. It's mostly setting up for the movie, which is really damn good. Oh shoot, I wasted my dash. I thought it was gonna send me to the left. But yeah, I feel like if I read manga, like, yeah, it would take less time to go through the entirety of the One Piece manga and, like, you know, read it. Which, I'm at the Thriller Bark. I just finished Thriller Bark, which is the arc Max told me to stop watching after I finished that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna continue watching. I'm invested. I'm in for the ride. I'm already 380 episodes in. I can't just stop now. Funny, I'm at Thriller Bark when last time I talked about Celeste, I was in, not Celeste, One Piece. Last time I talked about One Piece, I was in the Sky Island arc. Let me just say, Sky Island arc is actually pretty dumb. The villain is just awful. Like, you already know he's going to die from Luffy because Luffy is made out of literal rubber and he's like the lightning god. Just saying. Apparently, canonically, the villain of that arc is on the moon from there on forth after he's defeated, so cool for him. I wonder how I'm going to do this Let's Play after I complete Summit B-side and Chapter 8 B-side. Because once I finish the B-sides, the game will unlock C-sides, and if you think this is boring to watch, let me tell you something. C-sides are a nightmare. Oh, finally at the end. Shit. Okay. Whoa, what's with this, like, 8-bit remix? It's really cool. I can't hit that bumper at the right angle. Also, I can't do rhythm, apparently. Something a musician needs to have. I don't know how I accidentally slid on the ground like that, but that was probably a speedrunning tactic that I accidentally did. No! No, heart, why? Let me love you. This is taking longer than I expected. Do, Do 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 do. Okay. I just needed to act as a metronome for a little while. Center of the Earth. Huh. That's neat. Time for a victory sip of water. One water bottle isn't enough for me. I really should come down and record packed with a gallon. So, that was the end of Chapter 6 B-Side. This episode has lasted for about 32 minutes. So, next time, we will climb the summit. So, see ya.